Hello friends, welcome to another Ask a Bhante. I have an old question here. This is from the earlier questions that I didn't answer. And I don't have a person, so I don't know who answered it or who asked it. Sometimes this happens. But it says, hey Bhante, this must have been like when I first started doing Ask a Bhante again. I'm grateful for you to make YouTube videos again. How did you take your baby steps into seeing impermanence when you first started practicing? I would love to know how to fine-tune your sense of impermanence in your practice on a daily basis now. I have a bell app on my phone that rings at set intervals so I can remind myself that this too shall pass. I've been doing that for the last few months, and it's crazy to see how in 5 minutes time, the last time the bell rang, that moment is completely gone. Thanks. All right, so impermanence is something that is very deep and hard to see at one level, and also somewhat easy to see on another level. The Buddha's, we should talk about the word Anicca, right? This is this word that that the Buddha is talking about that we translate as impermanent. It could also be translated as unstable, undependable. And so for me, when I first realized and when I first saw that what the Buddha is talking about here is not just, oh yeah, just everything changes. Yeah, it's just, nothing's permanent, everything changes. It's much deeper than that. With this word anicca, the Buddha is telling us that there is absolutely nothing. There's nothing you can experience. There's absolutely nothing in this world, in your existence, that is stable, that is dependable. There's nothing you can hold on to and that won't slip through your fingers or eventually break apart. I can remember I had, after I looked, anicca up in the dictionary and I saw all these other different ways of, besides impermanence, it was very impactful. And I even had like a vision, and the vision was of me like at sea, and the ship just, broke up in the storm, and I'm just trying to like grab onto and push myself up over the water, out of the water onto these pieces of flotsam, these pieces of wood. And every time I do that, it would just break and I go right back in the water. And after a while, I realized, oh, there's nothing I can hold to that's going to keep me. There's no refuge. There's no shelter in the storm. This is why I jokingly say, the ironic thing about going for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha is that you're going for refuge that there is no refuge. This is why in the chantings you say, Nibbana is the ultimate refuge, i.e. it literally is quite the only way that you have refuge from all of the storm of samsara. So anyway, back to anicca. And so this vision that came to me really made me realize, like, oh, everything. Just my body, loved ones, my car, anything that I kind of hold on to as some kind of stability, as something stable, as something dependable, is not. It can't be. That's why anicca is one of the characteristics of existence. Sabbe sankhara anicca. Everything is anicca, except for nibbana. That's the only thing that's not anicca. Everything is anicca. Everything is unstable. Everything is undependable. Everything will fall apart in your hands. This is impermanence. This is starting to see impermanence at a deeper level. To really understand this. Because it's because we don't see things as unstable and undependable that we hold on to something, we grasp at something, and we just think it's going to stay there forever. It's not going to change. It's not going to fall apart, it's just going to be there. We think it's stable. We think it's dependable. We think it's nicha, permanent. But nothing you can experience is. Absolutely nothing. So impermanence on the top level, it says, yes, when you have a pleasant experience, yes, this too shall pass. Or you can say that, oh, this too shall pass. When you have a painful experience, you're like, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. You don't really believe it. You're just kind of saying, well, if I just keep saying it, if I keep saying it, it'll eventually pass. Right? You have to know impermanence very, very deeply. I can remember when I was years ago, when I had lost like the zeal and joy in my metta practice, and I went to Bhante Ji and I asked him, about it, and he said, until you understand impermanence at a deeper level, your metta will always be just skin deep. And you can expand that out to pretty much all the other parts of the path. Until you understand anicca at a deeper level, your practice will only be skin deep. Now that doesn't mean that it's not, this thing here you have, having a bell app on your phone, that's good. It's good to do these things. But the important thing is to do your best to try to see as deep as you can. Right? When you follow the breath, as you get deeper in the breath and you can start to see how the breath is changing, how the breath is not stable. It's just, breathing in long, breathing out short, all these kind of things. You start to observe that. And then if you're able to get into like deep jhanas, then you really can see how things are just so unstable, undependable, moving all the time, changing all the time. So these are all good techniques. These are all good things that you can do. But, also when you practice mindfulness of death practices, that's also helping to understand impermanence. I'm going to grow old. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to die. It's the nature of this body. And you practice satipatthana practices, foundations of mindfulness. When you observe your mind, you can observe how the mind state that you're in, it feels like it's going to last forever, but then it eventually goes away and a new mind state comes. So all of the main practices are work in such a way that they help you to see impermanence. This is indeed when the Buddha says that when you are seeing something with the state of vipassana, then you are seeing what? Anicca, dukkha, anatta. So practicing and developing your mindfulness, your satipatthana, and practicing your anapanasati, that will allow you to start to see impermanence at a much deeper level than if you were just to keep repeating words over and over again. Or if you, set a timer. Again, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But there's only a certain level, there's only a certain distance that will take you. All right, I think that's good enough. Okay, friends, thank you for whoever offered this question. And if you have a question for me, whether it's for you or you know the answer already, but you'd like me to answer it and put it on video for the benefit of future people who might see it, then please put the question in the chat below, send it to me via email, or any other way that you might, through my website, whatever way you might want to get in contact with me to send a question. And so friends, until next time, Sukhi Hotu, may you be happy, practice well and be well. Until we meet again, may you have a spiritually successful and peaceful practice.